Hello and welcome back, Punisher's Paintball, guys. Today we're going to bring you the best hoppers of 2023 from Punisher's Paintball, kind of a Punisher's picks, if you will. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you are interested in anything you see in this video, please use the link in the description, links I should say, links plural, in the description to grab any of them from Punishers here. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave us a comment, and we will catch you after the intro. I'm so free. All right, Joel, so we have quite a stack of hoppers in front of us here.
We do.
This is going to be a very informative video, probably for a lot of people. I am excited to get into it. We're going to start, what, probably on this side and work our way over this way, or?
Yeah. I mean, the way I see it, there's kind of like 2/3 different price points that we're looking at here. Mm-hmm. You know, you've got like your entry level, which is going to be your Halo 2 and your ProToyz Speedster over here on the left-hand side. You've got your kind of like mid-level, which is kind of in that same price point.
LTR, Spire AR, the HK Speed.
Yeah, $60 to $100, and then you've got your high-end loaders with the Virtue, the TFX, and the Die R2.
Yep.
But we're here to just kind of probably lay it out in different sections and then just give you our overall general opinion based upon values. Yep. So, yeah, so we do have quite a variety here. So
as far as what I've used, I used to have the Empire, the Halo Loader, the Halo 2 is what it was, it still is now. If you watch one of our other speculation videos, or I think it was a Paintball News, we did talk about there's probably a new Halo coming out, so stay tuned for that. But for right now, this bad boy is at $99? Or is
no, $84.95.
$84.95.
Yep.
Under $100. My only complaint with it is that it is a bit of a bear to take apart, and it takes a lot of battery to run. So, but beyond that, it was fast. It was a fast loader. I never had an issue with it jamming. I don't know if you used Halos back in the day. If they
I did. Yeah, no, I mean, for the most part, you know, the positives of them were they're reliable, high rates of fire. Just
don't break paint in there.
Correct.
Taking it apart is not going to be fun.
So it does take 6 screws to take a Halo 2 apart.
Yep.
Whereas, you know, you do have other options in that same price point. For example, the Speedster. You're not going to get the same rate of fire with the Speedster, and the Speedster is going to be bigger and bulkier and heavier.
Yep.
But it is easier to take apart and everything else like that. Let me see the Speedster there.
Yeah, sure.
Just to show you guys real quick, and it is going to come in at a cheaper price point. So there are speed feeds that are now available through Exalt for these.
I was just going to ask that.
Yep, and they are very simple to take apart. It is toolless, so if I can remember, I think this slides down and this pulls forward.
Okay.
So kind of similar to the Spire IR2.
Very, yeah.
And then another nice thing about this is it actually has a 50 cal adapter.
Oh, that's cool.
Similar to the Valken VMAX.
That's super cool.
And as you guys can see there, pretty simple speed or drive cone there.
Yep. Looks like it's probably pretty gentle in paint too.
Yeah, it is. But you're only going to get about 10 balls a second with
that. Is, yes, I remember doing videos on that, and then it'll kind of cap out. So if you're just into standard tournament play, it'll be completely fine for that. That is a viable option.
It is, and it's really good for, like, you know, if you're just entry level trying to get into paintball, it's a great loader. Halo 2 and those are, you know, similar. I'd probably go Speedster.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to achieve very high rates of fire.
Or if you just want old school ag, then yeah, go for the Halo.
Yeah, then go for the Halo for sure. What's next?
Let's do the Valken next.
Okay, so we got the Valken VMAX. This is also going to be a nice option for a cheaper price point. The Valken VMAX is going to have that option. First of all, rate of fire is going to be high.
I actually know nothing about the VMAX.
Yeah, so you are going to get like a higher rate of fire with these.
Okay.
It comes in at a good price point. The lid is trash, in my opinion. I can't even get it off.
Let me see this. Does it have a speed feed option at all?
I think, yeah. So I think through Valken you do have a speed feed option.
God.
And they're not very popular, but
I'm gonna break
from people that I've talked to, they are reliable.
Okay.
They do have higher rates of fire. They come in at a good price point. I think they take either 1 or 2 9-volt batteries. So yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, 2.
Yep.
That's a thick boy.
Yeah, so that's another option in that cheaper price point for those of you that are interested. Between the 3, like I said, I'm probably picking the Speedster.
I would go Halo.
It's the cheapest.
I just think Halo is attractive, despite the fact that it's kind of not practical. I just like the Halo. I like the option, too, of having the higher rate of fire if I want it, but paired with the fact that it doesn't have a history of jamming. Keep that in mind for later.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. All right. Next up, HK Army Sonic
Not Speed, Sonic. Speed is a different, it's an offshoot of the Pinocchio.
Correct. So the Speed is basically like the updated, or the Sonic is the updated Speed.
Yes.
$99.95, really good price point. If you get the
loader.
Pro Edition, $119.95, it does come with a speed feed, so that's kind of nice too. It does take Spire speed feeds, so that is a huge part of why I like the Sonic, is it's going to basically allow you to get any type of speed feed on the market. Your Bunkerkings NTR, your Virtue Crown,
the Evo,
the Evo Pro from HK, all those are going to fit on the Sonic for $100. Well balanced.
It is. It's well balanced.
That's got batteries in it.
Yeah,
super light.
We can. Like, that's the thing. Like, this weighs almost nothing. This is also happens to be the LED version for your glow in the dark paint as well. That is an option on the market as well.
Yep, and that's going to be more expensive. It's, I think, $135 for the glow in the dark version, but
really not a bad deal at all. It comes with a ramp already pre-installed. You don't have to worry about getting that aftermarket or anything like that. Easy to take apart, easy to clean. I would say we tried to do some speed the other day, and it wasn't the fastest.
No, it's not, and I'm not sure if that's a battery thing, but that's something that I want to point out on this, guys, is that it was struggling when we did the glow-in-the-dark video. It was struggling to get that 10 balls a second. But what's really weird is, like, I see the Houston Heat guys using them at the NXL events and stuff, so I'm not sure if it's just like a low battery or what. If
I could chime in, we actually were pretty well over 10. I'm a drummer, so hearing like the pace of things, I can really pick up on it. It was over 10, so it hits 10.
You think so?
Yes, it hits 10. Okay, we were trying to push like 11.5 or 12 because we had it uncapped ramp. So I would say though, for NXL and for MSXL, for actual just 10.5 tournaments, completely fine.
Yeah.
Anything beyond that, like if you're trying to use it for mech, I may not recommend.
Yeah.
You know?
And what's interesting is it's the only loader out of all these loaders that goes by a sensor of, it's like a little flap that's in the feed neck, and it goes, as the balls agitate that little flap as it goes down through the drive stack, that's what activates the drive cone. It seems to be relatively reliable. The Pinocchio was an extremely ugly loader.
It was,
but it worked really well.
Yeah.
And you could achieve high rates of fire with it.
Pinocchio translates to speed because they bought the patent for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
was. Bought Pinocchio, they turned it into a speed loader, then they updated the shell, but the technology in the Sonic is the same as the speed.
They basically put the speed stuff inside of what looks like a control or IR2 shell because the way it latches.
Yeah, for sure.
I like it though. I actually
option.
like that hopper.
Okay, so same price point.
IR2. That is, I currently have an IR2 as my backup loader, and Joel, for a while, you were using that as your mainstay.
Correct.
Until you got your Spire 5.
Correct, yes.
Nothing wrong with it. Simple loader. Probably my only complaint is that it's a little harder to, like, take it fully apart and get into the tray, because there's, like, actual screws.
Correct.
But, I mean, for, what, 110 bucks? Sorry, 100 bucks before speed feed or ramp. You do have to buy everything aftermarket, by the way, as well. So, pros and cons, but I love it. I've never had an issue with it. Especially since they updated the shell now for the IR2. Like, doesn't come apart. Look how easy that was.
Yep. Just plastic shell here, plastic shell on the top. So very easy to clean.
It's good capacity.
Everything
too.
is here.
200 or 220.
200
capacity.
balls, and then you've got a 260 option in the black, which is really nice.
Yep.
And it comes in a bunch of different colors. We actually can part swap them too. So like if you wanted to buy a two-tone shell, we do offer that option here at Punishers. So yeah, you know, the Spire IR2 is probably like a hard argument, but a lot of people like the Sonic 2 for that $100 price point.
Either one of those is...
They both take the same speed feed. They come apart the same. The technology and how they feed is different. That's going to use like a sensor flap, whereas this uses eyes.
This might be a little bit later. Maybe?
I think that is lighter.
Yeah.
It only takes one 9-volt. This takes 3 AA's. So, the other one that we haven't talked about, LTR.
That is the next one in this kind of range. So
yeah, that's R2.
Yes, sorry. So I was an original rotor user. I don't really know what's different from
I just realized that the...
Oh, is that still sealed?
The warranty card is in the front. This was our display one here, guys.
So maybe Joel can tell me. I think I heard the real differences between the OG rotor and the LTR. The externals are a little bit less fancy. There's less like jeweling on it, and didn't they lighten like something about like the spring tension or something?
I honestly don't know.
It's the same thing. So one of the fastest loaders I've ever seen. I actually would love to do a speed test between that and like the Halo loaders to see which one's faster. It's gonna be one of the two. Just and I used one for like 5 or 6 years. It is prone to jamming. People who claim that it's a myth, it's not. It is prone to jamming. However, you will achieve some wicked rates of fire. Yeah.
I've never seen LTR jam.
Really?
Nope.
I guess I was using the OG rotor, so maybe that is the difference. But
everyone, so the good thing about the LTR, you can literally chuck it out of a 10-foot building and it won't break.
The thing is a football. It's not going anywhere.
Super durable shell. That's really nice. Rates of fire, really nice.
Out of this world.
Easy disassembly, really nice.
Yes.
Great price point, really nice. Super reliable, really nice. It goes by a tension system. So one thing that I have seen is when you're using really brittle paint, I've seen this with quite a few upper level teams where they have to kind of get away from it. You can also change the tension. So there's that part of it. So it's not like something that is recommended through dye, but it's something that people have figured out how to do.
Similar with Lux, how you can like flip the battery locks or whatever, right, with the TM40 so it stays in place.
Yep. So really good option for $100. It comes in 5 different colors: black, blue, green, red, and a die cam. The die cam's a little bit more expensive. Super good option. I'm going to say if you are playing a mechanical event, I'm going to choose this over the Spire.
I would as well. I genuinely would. I will say speed feed wise it is available, but a little difficult.
Yeah, so you actually have to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws apart, take that off. This top portion comes off, then you can pop your speed feed in. There's really not like a bunch of really good options because they're all rubber, whereas with the Spire,
you can get metal ones, you can get acrylic ones,
and they're spring loaded. So
yes,
speed feed definitely a downfall with the LTR, but overall, besides that, really good option.
My only 2 complaints is the speed feed and the history of that platform jamming. Even if it's not the LTR, I feel like I've still witnessed it at the field, but
that's fair.
Those are my only 2 complaints. I think it's kind of heavier a little bit as well, but that's not the end of the world.
It is definitely heavier, and it sits higher than the. I can't get this back in. Whatever.
Here, I'll work on it.
It does sit a little bit higher on the gun, guys, compared to the Spire IR2.
Okay.
The Spire IR2 is a little bit smaller profile. When you set the LTR on a gun side by side, you can definitely tell that the LTR likes to sit a little bit higher. So from a profile perspective, the IR2 is a little bit better in that sense. But all right, so out of the mid-level loaders that we've got here, we've got the Sonic, we got the LTR, we got the Spire IR2. Which one are you going to choose?
I think for what you're getting out of the box and price, I'd go HK.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I already had the IR2 before this came out, so I didn't have a need to update, but if I was in the market right now, I would actually look at the HK.
I'm still going Virtue.
Yeah?
I'm still going Virtue with a runner-up being the LTR, just because tried and true, super reliable, relatively decent rates of fire, probably 13 to 15 balls a second. This super high rates of fire, super reliable, great price point. Speed feed drives me nuts, and I always worry if I ever use this in a tournament that I'm going to shred paint in the middle of a tournament, and that bothers me. Whereas like the drive cone on this is very soft rubber, and you're not going to have that issue.
If there's busted paint in there, you had a bad ball from your pod.
Yeah. If you're shooting 10 balls a second, the IR2 is the way to go. If you're mechanical or you want higher rates of fire, if you're not a tournament player and you're playing in the woods or anything else like that, the LTR is a phenomenal option for $100. Okay, next up, we got our high ends. I've got our Spire 4 here because we still have some in stock.
Yes, we do.
I got the Spire 5, obviously.
We have the Dire 2.
Dire 2.
And then we have a TFX 2 in front of us. We actually weren't able to get a 3. That is the current edition of the TFX that is still up for sale, is the TFX 3.
Yep.
Pretty similar. For me, the biggest difference was that they added the expander, the capacity in there.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And then is it that it only comes as rechargeable, right? The TFX 3?
Yeah, so you get a rechargeable battery off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, for $179.95 for the TFX 3. Price point on the R2 is going to be right around that too, $180 to $200 depending upon the color. Spire 5 is going to be significantly more, and then you've got some of Spire 4 left if you guys are interested in Spire 4, and we'll talk about the differences here, but the 130.
Oh, it's down to 130 now.
130. We're selling them for 130. So
nice.
We have only got probably 5 or 10 left in stock. So
get them out.
Okay, guys.
What about the control?
Oh, duh. I forgot about the control over here. You got the control loader. One thing too about the control loader, that's a used one, but the new black ones have a plus 20 shell because the capacity on these is only 180.
Yeah, it was like
with
barely
a small
a pod.
shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can get higher capacity.
There we go.
Okay, let's touch on the unique things about every loader real quick.
Okay.
So TFX3, good price point. Expandable shell.
Yep.
Rechargeable battery.
Yep.
Questionable reliability.
I haven't seen issues with it myself, but I also don't see too many of them on the field.
They supposedly fixed the reliability issues, guys, with the TFX3. TFX2 and TFX1 specifically was bad. TFX3, not as bad. Great option for 180 bucks for that price point, because to get the, you know, top-notch Spire 5, you're looking at
250.
250. Yeah. So
now, the argument though with Spire 5. Okay, wait, sorry. Let's just keep going through the list. Let's keep going. So, TFX. TFX. for me, it's that in my memory, it was the first loader where you could expand the capacity within one loader.
It is.
And I did like, they were also with Spire, the Spire 3 at the time, they were one of the first to have that interchangeable, super easy speed feed at the time as well. I do like their speed feeds as well. High rate of fire. I think that's one of the biggest things, is that it's easily expandable and high rate of fire.
Yep.
So that would be the pluses for the R2.
I would say disassembly is a little bit more difficult than the LTR.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we were doing cons just yet. Yeah, I hate taking this thing apart. I really do.
It's a big pain in the butt to take it apart compared to the LTR. Once you get used to it, it's not as bad. Like, I've done it enough times where I'm pretty used to it.
Yep.
The expandable shell's really nice.
Yep.
You said the speed feed, that's a really nice option. Some really cool color designs with the R2.
That is Dye's consistent thing. They have some of the most attractive gear in the game.
Yeah,
they are very good with that.
For sure, for sure. Good price point.
Yeah, under 200 for a loader that expands, has a speed feed, already has ramps installed. Like, it is a good value purchase, I would say. Plus, again, if you're playing mech, you get the rate of fire. So.
Yep. Spire 4, and then we'll talk about Spire 5.
Spire 4, I mean, speed feed. No, speed feed does not come included.
No.
I'm going to plead the fifth on Spire 4.
Doug doesn't like the Spire 4 because there was some issues with the G-force sensor. It's called the accelerometer. It basically goes by vibration.
Yep.
There was some issues with the sensors out of the box.
Which sucks because I am a Virtue fan first and foremost, so I was disappointed.
Which is funny because the Spire 3 didn't have that issue, but the Spire 3 also uses the exact same sensor.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know.
I don't know if they went through a different manufacturer for it or what, or different chips. My Spire 3 that I bought in 2019 is still kicking.
Yep.
After a lot of use. So
to be fair though, I used a few Spire 4s.
Yeah.
And I think I had to replace the sensor on one of them, but I used multiple, and we've sold hundreds of them, and I mean, I'd say less than 10. So to give you an idea,
out of my 10 student line, when we did Spire 4s with my OSU kids, 2 of them did not work. So
there was definitely a short period of time where like it was more common than others.
Okay.
Like when they first released, not as big of an issue. Towards the end of the production line, it seemed to be more of an issue for a short period of time.
And they bought in about a year after they came out, so that would kind of make sense.
Yeah. So, okay. But Spire 4, though, 220 ball capacity, hinge lock mechanism.
Yep.
So super easy to open.
Does come with
super
ramps
easy
installed.
to clean.
Yep.
Already comes with ramps. It does have, I should probably just try and show you guys here, yeah. It does have, okay, so hinge frame there, guys, so super easy to take that apart.
Toolless tray removal.
Toolless tray removal, that's what I was going to say there, and then you've also got the magnetic drive cone, which is nice. So you can take that out to clean your loader. Don't
forget to put it back in, because I did that at my first Punisher's practice in Louisville, and did not have a good time in the snake because of it.
Yep, and it just pops in there, so super easy there. This pops back into place. Super stylish loader.
It's extremely simplistic and low profile. I like that shell.
Correct. Now, Spire 5, $250.
Worth the money. Absolute fucking home run.
Agreed.
Love that. So my big thing with it is that they re-simplified it. They got rid of the Bluetooth. And no one really used it. You don't need that. The sensor seems to work again. My thing is it has dual fail-safe capability, because it has both the sensor and it has eyes.
Correct.
So that's my biggest thing with the Spire 5. Plus, it comes with everything included. You get your speed feed, the ramps are there, it's still easy to take apart, a better locking mechanism. It just, for the money, you cannot get better.
all in all, when you spend the money once, but you're done.
Yes.
So there is that portion of it. I agree with everything you said. You know, shell and everything else like that's the same. The big difference is the technology. Yep. Like you said.
You can literally, I have done this, you can pop your Spire 3 or 4 tray into that. It does work. So
if
that tells you anything, other than the locking mechanism. But I will say, only disadvantage is speed.
Speed, yeah. So you're probably not going to achieve anything higher than 15, and even 15 is kind of a struggle.
Push.
Yeah. So, and then the control loader.
So the control really was very similar to the Spire 4 in technology when it came out, but it was a little bit better, and that was the first one that, like, because it still uses the drive cone that the other Spires use and all that.
Yep.
It has, that's the only one, though, that not only has a front ramp, but a rear ramp as well. Correct. And they used to not come included. Do they come included now?
They don't.
Okay, so you still have to buy...
This one does not.
You still have to buy both ramps aftermarket. It used to come apart a little too easily. Now it's not so much. It does not click or latch into the shell. It is only magnetic.
Magnetic. Kind of interesting. I kind of like that.
Honestly. It's kind of cool if you're someone... So my whole thing on this channel, you guys have heard me say, none of you know how to dive. So if you are one of those people, don't get this, because you will yeet this thing across the field.
Yeah.
But also the new shell is a lot better at staying put together. It's great because it's low profile. They also thinned out the drive cone on this. You'll notice there's a lot less material than there is on the actual Spire loaders, but it will fit in your Spire if you want to mix and match. I think that increased the speed like a little bit. Cool feature was that they had the leveling system, so you can kind of work on shooting lanes like in practice, which is
correct. So if you turn the loader on, and the power button's at the bottom.
It's weird. So you gotta hold it for a while.
If you guys look here, yeah, as I'm tilting this way,
you can see the light kind of
changing. It will turn green, and that's supposedly, I don't know if anybody actually uses that, supposedly is the perfect tilt for the level that you need to lane somebody off the brake.
I think you're able to set it too. Like you're able to, like if you find a lane that you'd like to practice, you can set it to remember that level. I think that was what I heard too. So for me, it's kind of like just a Spire in a different shell with like a slightly more interesting setting for like a practice mode kind of thing. For me, the only real benefit to it is that it's a low profile version of a Spire loader.
Yeah. You do get, so 180 ball capacity, very small profile height-wise. You are using the same technology as the Spire 4. Power button, I don't like the placement of the power button, very hard to turn on.
But you have to hold it for a while too, because with this one, it's very quick, it's just on.
Yeah. 180 bucks, good price point.
Oh, is it under 200?
It is 180 bucks for just a stock black one. Which is all that they're selling anymore.
But then you still got to get speed feed in the ramps.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, so you're well over 200. You're basically at the price point of a Spire 5.
So,
but I will say this: some guys do like the control because of the profile.
Yep.
The profile is definitely smaller than Spire platform or the R2 platform or even the TFX.
They also have way more interesting and just louder patterns. Like we have a freaking cheetah loader. Like I haven't seen that for a Spire 5.
That is true. So. From a design perspective, they got some really good options.
It's super cool.
Okay. Enough talking. High end. Which one are you choosing?
Spire 5. Spire 5 for the reliability because I love the dual redundancy of 2 different feeding systems.
Yeah, I agree. Price point, it is the most expensive, but it's also deservingly the most expensive for a multitude of reasons. Reliability. The only thing that I will say about the Spire 5, and the only reason I wouldn't use the Spire 5 is if I was in a mechanical tournament and I need high rates of fire, or if I'm out in the woods and I want to do uncapped ramp, I'm going to slap an LTR, I'm going to slap a R2 on.
Yep.
Other than that, I am going to use my Spire in all 10.2 ramping settings just because of the sake of ease of taking it apart, cleaning it, reliability factor, all of that. Profile, I think it looks better than the R2. I think it looks better than any of these other loaders. So yeah, for that purpose, I am going to go with that. Spire 5 is going to come with that speed feed already, so you're good to go. You spend that $250 price point, but you're good to go. You never really have to worry about it. Pop batteries in it, use it, good to go. So,
yes, sir.
All right, Doug. Man, that was a lot.
Yeah, man, that's a good review for 2023. And watch, we'll go to Cup, and then like 3 other loaders. That'd be awesome. I would love that. Yeah. But guys, we really want to know if you like this video. Please drop some comments. Let us know what you have been using and what your experience has been. When you are done doing all that, you make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description to pick up any one of these here from Punishers. We will try to have everything super updated for you, including the TFX 3. And yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. We'll catch you in the next one.
Thanks, guys.
I'm so free.